Crump's killer. And deadly storm system claims 39 lives and causes widespread destruction across the U.S. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Monday, March 17th, 2025. I'm your presenter, Shanique Harvey, nationally. Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Terence Drew addressed the Green Climate Fund, or GCF, regional dialogue with the Caribbean during the opening ceremony on Monday, underscoring the urgent need for regional collaboration to tackle climate change and build a sustainable future for the Caribbean. During his speech, Dr. Drew highlighted the growing climate challenges facing the region, including rising sea levels, more intense hurricanes, and increasing droughts. He pointed to the event's theme as a critical opportunity to advance solutions for these pressing issues.
I find that the theme of this gathering is timely, which is towards a resilient Caribbean, advancing regional solutions for climate action, sustainable growth, and inclusive development. Indeed, the ethos of the Green Climate Fund is reflected in its motto, raising ambition, empowering action. My sincere hope is therefore that we will use this dialogue to resolve the barriers that are preventing us from matching our raised ambitions to urgent actions that are needed on the ground. The Caribbean region has always set its sights higher than its geographical limitations.
St. Kitts and Nevis, despite its small geographical size, has set ambitious climate targets. The country is committed to a 61% reduction in carbon emissions by 2030, largely driven by investments in geothermal energy. Dr. Drew emphasized that renewable energy and energy efficiency are essential not only for mitigating climate change, but also for stimulating economic growth and enhancing the nation's resilience.
Our commitment to renewable energy and energy efficiency offers us a pathway to not only mitigate the threats caused by climate change, but also to stimulate economic growth and enhance resilience. In other words, dealing with the scourge of climate change is not opposed to economic growth. For us, they are one and the same.
The Prime Minister further acknowledged the GCF's support for St. Kitts and Nevis's climate efforts, including $8.3 million in readiness financing to help build institutional capacity for climate action. He commended the GCF's commitment to geothermal development in the Caribbean, particularly through its $80 million support package for projects in the region, including ongoing initiatives in Dominica and Nevis. Dr. Drew concluded by reiterating the need for continued international support to help the Caribbean meet its climate adaptation and mitigation goals. He emphasized that the region's climate action efforts are closely tied to sustainable economic growth and resilience, and stressed the importance of securing financial and technical support to achieve these objectives. A high-level delegation from St. Kitts and Nevis, led by Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzil Douglas, arrived in Taiwan this morning for a series of crucial meetings aimed at strengthening ties and addressing national interests. The delegation includes Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ms. Kay Bass, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Economic Development and Investment, Ms. Adina Richards, Mr. Sean Lawrence, Director in the Ministry of International Trade, Mr. Jonathan Kelly, Energy Transition Manager at St. Kitts Electricity Company Limited, and Mr. Trevor Blake, President of the St. Kitts and Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce. The delegation's visit will focus on key areas such as investment, energy transition, and people empowerment, with a view to furthering cooperation between Taiwan and St. Kitts and Nevis. Upon arrival, the delegation was warmly welcomed by Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister Chen Ming-Chai at the airport. The group's first stop was at the Embassy of St. Kitts and Nevis in Taiwan, where they met with His Excellency Donia L. Francis embassy staff, and several scholars from St. Kitts and Nevis currently studying in Taiwan. The day continued with a visit to the Taiwan ICDF, where Secretary General Huang and his team provided valuable updates on ongoing projects in St. Kitts and Nevis. Tomorrow, the delegation will participate in an investment seminar specially organized by their Taiwanese hosts, offering a platform to engage with potential investors from Taiwan. This seminar is expected to foster greater collaboration between the two nations. The ongoing discussions and engagements are expected to pave the way for stronger economic and energy partnerships between St. Kitts and Nevis and Taiwan. In observance of World Water Day 2025, staff from the St. Kitts Water Services Department, or WSD, gathered at Antioch Baptist Church for a special worship service. This event served as a moment of reflection and gratitude, emphasizing the essential role water plays in our lives and the shared responsibility to protect this vital resource. World Water Day, observed annually on March 22nd, aims to raise awareness about global water issues. This year's theme, Glacier Preservation, highlights the urgent need to protect glaciers, which are rapidly melting due to climate change. While St. Kitts and Nevis does not have glaciers, the island is still impacted by their loss through rising sea levels, changing weather patterns, and increased droughts, all of which threaten water security. Honorable Conris Maynard, Minister of Public Infrastructure, Energy and Utilities, addressed the congregation, stressing the importance of water conservation. His message emphasized the need for collective action to protect and manage water resources sustainably. According to the department, through this worship service, the WSD reaffirmed its commitment to water conservation and ensuring a resilient, reliable water supply for future generations. We move now to news on the regional scene. Grief-stricken residents across Antigua and Barbuda are calling for the death penalty as a 20-year-old woman has been charged in connection to the tragic death of 9-year-old Chantel Crump. Police have charged Angela Mehai with the child's murder, and she is expected before the court today to answer to the charge. The discovery of Crump's body in the Weather Hills area early Saturday morning sparked widespread outrage and mourning throughout the nation. Reports are that it was Mehai who took officers to the location where the child's body had been discarded. Acting Commissioner of Police ACP Everton Jeffers announced that the alleged perpetrators, which at the time included a man in whose name the car which was involved in Crump's abduction was registered, were in custody awaiting formal charges. Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness has hinted that the countdown to general elections has begun, telling supporters that every Jamaican will be called upon very soon to make a choice. With elections constitutionally due by September, there is mounting speculation that the polls could be held as early as June or July. In February, Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton suggested that Holness may call the election by mid-year, fueling expectations of an early campaign push. Speaking at a Jamaica Labour Party or JLP meeting in northeastern St. Elizabeth on Friday night, Holness declared that the governing party is ready for battle, but still has work to do. With the campaign rhetoric heating up and party leaders intensifying their mobilization efforts, all eyes are now on Holness as Jamaicans await the official election date announcement. If the polls are indeed held during the summer, the coming weeks could see a political showdown as both parties ramp up their ground operations. We move now to news on the international scene. A powerful storm system that began Friday has left at least 39 people dead and caused extensive damage across several states. The system, which brought tornadoes, dust storms, and wildfires, is now moving through the southeast and mid-Atlantic with continued risks of thunderstorms, hail, and high winds. In Mississippi, tornadoes destroyed neighborhoods, killing 6 people and displacing over 200 residents. In Missouri, scattered tornadoes claimed at least a dozen lives, with rescuers finding bodies among the debris. Oklahoma also faced devastating wildfires fueled by winds over 70 miles per hour, destroying hundreds of homes and killing 2 people. The storm's powerful winds also caused deadly dust storms in Kansas and Texas, with at least 11 fatalities. President Donald Trump expressed support for the affected states, with National Guard troops deployed to Arkansas. Alabama also saw deadly tornadoes, including 3 deaths in the central part of the state. Despite the destruction, no injuries were reported at a storm shelter in Troy, Alabama, where over 200 people had taken refuge. As recovery efforts continue, officials remain on high alert for further severe weather. President Donald Trump will speak with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Tuesday in an effort to end the war in Ukraine. Trump announced the planned conversation during a flight from Florida to Washington on Sunday, with the Kremlin confirming Putin's participation. Trump said the talks would focus on issues like land and power plants, referring to a process of dividing up certain assets. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff recently visited Moscow to support the negotiations. Despite Russia's control of parts of Ukraine, including annexed regions, peace discussions remain ongoing. Trump also reiterated his plan to move forward with tariffs on April 2nd, dismissing concerns over economic disruptions. He emphasized the need to reclaim economic strength, particularly through reciprocal tariffs on steel, aluminum, and automobiles. And now for the weather. Present weather is fair skies. Winds are light and variable. Seas consist of northerly swells ranging from 1.5 to 1.8 meters or 5 to 6 feet. Therefore, a high surf advisory remains in effect. The temperature for today is 27 degrees Celsius or 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Weather forecast for today predicts partly sunny skies with brief cloudy spells and a 60% or moderate chance of localized showers developing. Tonight will be partly cloudy skies with a 20% or slight chance of showers. Sunset for today will be at 6:21 p.m. and sunrise for tomorrow will be at 6:17 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your presenter, Shanique Harvey.